In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to manually create an RSS aggregator using code that I give you. All you have to do is add the URLs to the RSS feeds and change a couple settings, but you can pull in RSS feeds from anywhere you want really quickly, really easily, and you're going to do it manually. And we're getting started right now. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. It's Bjorn from WPLearningLab, where we help you get better at WordPress so you can earn more for yourself, for your clients, and for your business. If it's your first time here, click subscribe, then click the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. And with that out of the way, let's head into screen capture. Let's build this RSS aggregator manually. I'll see you there. We can pull in RSS feeds manually by using the code that I have on this page here. I've linked to it down below in the description. You can just come over here, click on this little copy icon here, and then just copy the whole thing. And we're going to put this into a specific page on our demo site, and I'll show you how to use this code to pull in RSS feeds. If we head back to our dashboard, first we have to install a special plugin that allows us to execute PHP inside of our posts, which is not default functionality. So go to plugins and then add new, and then we look for allow PHP execute, and this is the one I use here. Even though it's untested with the current version, has been updated in 2 years, I haven't found any problems with it yet, but those problems might arise, I'm not sure. This is one of the only plugins I've found that reliably allows you to use PHP inside of post content. If you guys know of a different one, let me know in the comments down below. I'd be glad to use one that's up to date, but this is all I can find. So I'm going to click on install now, and then activate. Then we have to go to settings, and then allow PHP execute. And in here we want to make sure that for this tutorial, that add PHP code in content section of a page, post, or any post type is set to yes. These other two are for title sections of posts, and this one down here is for widgets. So we don't need either of those. I'm going to set those both to no. I'm going to set this one to yes. Click on Save Changes. Now I'm going to add a new page, and I'm going to call this Manual RSS. Make sure I'm on the text tab, and then paste in the code that I copied from the website. And right now it's set to pull in content from this YouTube channel, which happens to be my channel. So if I click on publish and then view this page, we see we have content pulled in from my channel. And there's some CSS issues going on. We'll get to that in just a second. These CSS settings are going to change for every feed you pull in. So it's tough to get it perfect for each one. So there's always a little tweaking that goes on. But what we have here is the fetch feed variable here is fetching the feed from this URL. The URL you have in here has to be a feed URL, has to be a valid RSS feed, otherwise nothing is going to be pulled in. So if we just comment that out and uncomment the second one, which is a Forbes magazine feed, so instead of a YouTube channel, it's text-based. We have to publish that page or update it, refresh this one out here. Now it's going to pull in totally different content. So we have links with a date, short description, images, and we still have the issue of the spacing, which I'll get to right now. If we head back into our code, that issue is caused by a small piece of CSS that I have inline right here. So I have all the images. This pulls in the image from each RSS item. If that RSS feed item does not have an image, it will not be pulled in here because there is no image. But for each image, we have it styled to float left, make it a width of 200 pixels, and a margin right of 10 pixels. If we take out this CSS right here, I'm just going to cut it out, update this page, refresh this page out here. Now we have much larger images, which might be exactly how you want it, or it might not be. The way it's set up right now, the image comes first, then the text and the links come. So this first one does not have an image associated with it. This profit image goes with the hedge funds right here. This one does not have an image. Lionel Messi, his is right here. So not every RSS feed item has an image. And if these are too big for you, we can change the styling. Like we just took the styling out, we can put it back in. We can set a width to 200 pixels, for example, for the images. And I had it to float left because I wanted them to be on the left-hand side, but then that's what causes the spacing issues. So if I update this and then refresh this page, we have our images at a reasonable size, but these ones are too high, so they end up going side by side. These two, the keys and Lionel Messi, they fit in perfectly. Each feed item has its own space, but then the content beside the image is a little too low. So this will have to be adjusted. And the reason I'm not going to adjust it perfectly here is because it's going to be different for yours. You're not going to want these specific RSS feeds I have here. So your CSS is going to be slightly different. So I can adjust this all day long to make this perfect, but then it won't be perfect for yours anyway. So there's really no point. So I'm going to hide that one and show you how you can add multiple RSS feeds if you want to. Down here we have an RSS list array. I'm going to uncomment this. And we're pulling in the feeds from these 3 URLs. You can add as many as you want. Just always add a comma after each one. But after the last one, don't add a comma. That's the only rule. Don't add a comma after the last one. I'm going to click on Update and then refresh this page. Now I see that same key because we're pulling in that same RSS feed. But we're pulling a bunch of other feeds from other places. So if we hover over these links, we can see at the bottom this one's from Wall Street Journal. This first one here is from Forbes. This one's also Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal. Bunch of Wall Street Journals. So that's all the feeds. All the Wall Street Journal ones are not successfully pulling in the image, which happens from time to time. We can have more feeds show up by changing this number right here. Right now it's set at 7. We set that to 20, for example, and update, and then refresh this page. Now we see much more content, including Lionel Messi's back. Our CSS issue is still here because these images are too big. This one actually works perfectly right here, whatever this feed is. This feed is a different Forbes feed. But this one has great spacing, just need to adjust the text up a little bit. This one has great spacing, but it's missing an image. If we head back into the code, it says here, limited to 5 RSS items. That's a loose rule, you don't have to, but the more items you have, the more work your site and this page is going to have to do, because every time the page loads, it's going to go out and pull 20 items if you have it set to 20. And if it's a really busy page, that can really slow stuff down. So it's up to you how many you use. 20 is fine for low traffic site or a low traffic page. For a high traffic page, I'd reduce the amount. The date, each of these items has a date at the end, and that date is produced by this piece of code right here. Well, specifically the date function, but then within that, the date's appearance is defined by these. And if you wanted to change those, you'd go to, or look up on Google, PHP date, and go to the PHP manual to find the date. And then here's the date format settings. So we have in our code, small j, big F, big Y. And that gives us the small j is the day of the month without leading zeros. The capital F, full textual representation of the month, examples on the right. And I forgot the last one, small something, nope, capital Y, full numeric representation of the year over here. So you can change those as you want to. Just remember, if you add other characters in here, it's going to break. So make sure you don't add commas or exclamation marks or anything. Just replace the letters with the letter on the left-hand column in here. That's about all there is to pulling these feeds in manually, aside from just doing a little bit of CSS work. But this code here that you find on this blog post, I believe I've originally found this years ago from Chris Coyer at csstricks.com. So I have to give credit to him. I believe it was him years and years ago. I've updated little chunks of it here and there, and feel free to update it as you need it and use it for your site. So that's how we manually create an RSS aggregator on your website. I hope this video helps you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below the video. If you haven't done so yet, click subscribe, then click the bell notification icon so you don't miss anything. And next up is clicking one of these videos that popped up on the right-hand side so you can get even better at WordPress. And until next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.